What's going on, guys? This is Jan coming from you from the Arcane Lighthouse, bringing you another EDH deck profile. Today we will be covering Sen Triplets. So before we start, I want to give a huge shout out for my YouTube partner, Julian. He got me this sweet foil Sen Triplets for my birthday. So huge shout out. I know it's not cheap, but we're just going to dive right into the deck profile and we're going to just explain what we're going to do with each card. So biggest guy, we have one Blightsteel Colossus. Really good guy to get out. We have one Mycosynth Golem. Makes your artifacts a little cheaper once you get him out because he has affinity for artifacts, and he makes your artifact creature spells. Basically, you have affinity for artifacts, so they help you pay for your artifacts in general. We have one Memnarch. As it is a Sen Triplets deck, you want to really control the board, and if there's something you like, you steely, takey, sucky. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Alright, so moving on, we have Shroom, the Hegemon. So basically, get back one of your artifacts and put it onto the battlefield. So Recursion is very great for this deck. You have a lot of expensive artifacts that will be targeted and destroyed, and you want to get them back as soon as possible. Moving right along, we have one Thopter Assembly. This card will we'll get to combo off with one other card in this deck. I'll get to it later, but for now we're just going to go through the creatures. We have one Duplicate copy. Basically, you exile target non-token creature, and as long as the card is exiled with Duplicate, this card has the power and toughness and the creature types as that, and it's still a shapeshifter. So really nice card to have. So if you have something that's really cool, you can just definitely take it. All right. So next card we have Sphinx Summoner. This card is very great because it's basically a search card for 5, and it gives you a body. You search for an artifact creature card, reveal it, put it in your hand. Not as good as Demonic Tutor, but it's very specific for this deck, so it's not that bad. Next, we have Arkham Dachshund. So basically, target artifact creature's controller sacrifices it and searches his or her library for a non-creature artifact, puts it on the battlefield. So sack something like a Darksteel Ingot, and then get like a Darksteel Forge. So, cheap artifact for a more expensive artifact. Next card, we have Master Transmuter. Return an artifact you control to its owner's hand, and you may put an artifact card from your hand onto the battlefield. Same thing as Arkham Dachshund. Rather than sacrifice it, you just bounce and play. Next card, we have Lone Stone Golem. So this card makes non-artifact spells cost 1 more to cast. This helps your deck because majority of your deck are all artifacts, except for a few exceptions that combo with this deck. But this is really to hinder your opponent's plays and really stall them for one or two turns. Next card, we have Fairy Artisans. I like this card because whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you create a token of that creature, except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. And then you exile all of the tokens created with Fairy Artisans. So basically you get a copy and a blocker. Really good card. Very underrated from what I'm seeing. We have a couple proxies in this deck because some of them are coming through the mail. Metalworker. Basically reveal any number of artifact control from your hand. Any number of artifacts, from your hand. And you get, I don't know why I'm showing you get this guy. Yeah, look at my proxy. So you show any number of artifacts in your hand and you add that much colorless mana. Next, we have Phyrexian Metamorph. Same concept as Fairy Artisans, except you just copy something on the board. It can be a copy of artifact or creature, so it gives you a little more options of variety of what you want to do. Indomitable Arc Angel. It enables you to basically provide Shroud for your artifacts, so that way at least your opponents will not be able to target. The drawback is you will not be able to target your own stuff, but it protects your stuff in the meantime as long as you have Metalcraft. Next, we have Shimmermer. Shimmermer makes it so your artifact spells you control basically have flash. So really flash it on your opponent's turn to save you mana that you can use on your next turn that's upcoming. Next card, we have those 2 search cards. We have Trinket Mage and we have Treasure Mage. So they have different ones they can grab. Trinket Mage can do 1 or less, and Treasure Mage is 6 or greater. So they are search engines for your artifacts, and very early game or mid to late game. Doesn't matter when you get them, but getting them is really ideal. Next card, we have Aetherswarm Canonist. So each player who casts a non-artifact spell can't cast an additional non-artifact spells. So this is another card that hinders your opponent's plays. This deck is majority artifacts, so in general, you will be playing multiple artifacts per turn while your opponents are stalled out, unless they get rid of her, obviously. Alright, moving on to the Planeswalkers of the deck. We're going to move on to the enchantments, and we're going to go to the artifacts after that. So we have one Tezzeret, Agent of Bolas. Very nice synergy with this deck. Overall, really good card. The -4 is definitely great. Your opponent target player loses X life, where X, and you gain X, where X is the number of artifacts you control. That is double that amount. And we have one Tezzeret the Seeker. We have one power artifact for the enchantment. Really good cards, and yes, there is a Grim Monolith in this deck. I am that guy. We have one Celestial Dawn that helps you play cards from your opponent's hand, basically enabling you to play multiple cards. This is why this deck is so hated. And we have one Necropotence to really draw at your deck, so that way you'll be able to get to your game pieces a lot faster. And it really doesn't matter whether you draw or not, because you'll be playing from your opponent's hand regardless. So next card, we have one Darksteel Forge, Indestructible Artifacts. Planar Bridge, pay 8, get a card from your library and put it into play. Mycosynth Lattice. We have one Mirrorworks. We have one Paradox Engine. Move that off to the side. We have one Mana Crypt. We have one Blink Moth Urn. One Scoured Glass. One Gilded Lotus. We have one Unwinding Clock. One Chromatic Lantern. One Darksteel Ingot. One Urza's Incubator. One Cloud Key. One Sculpting Steel. One Grim Monolith. We have a Scroll Rack. We have a Azorius Signet. We have an Orzhov Signet. And we have a Dimir Signet. Next, moving on, we have Lightning Greaves to protect our Sen Triplets. Basically, extra added protection. We have one Soul Ring. We have one Sensei's Divining Top. We have one Proxy Mana Vault that's still coming in the mail. We have one Staff of Domination as well coming in the mail. And last but not least, one last proxy in this side is Mox Opal, still coming in the mail. And last but not least, we have a Time Sieve. So this works well with Thopter Assembly, where you basically sack it and you get it. When it enters the battlefield, you get 5 1/1 Thopter tokens. You sack it to take an extra turn. The upkeep, you get another 5, so infinite turns, which is great. Moving on to sorceries and instants, we have one Demonic Tutor, one Idyllic Tutor, one Bribery, still your best card from your opponent. Hashtag Julian's. We have one Wrath of God, one All Is Dust, one Supreme Verdict, one Fabricate to search out your other artifacts, one Mortify, one Swords to Plowshare, one Pact of Negation, one Cryptic Command. And moving on with the other instance, we have one Stunning Reversal. I'm trying this out from Battle Bond just in case I lose the game. Yeah. Just like to try those like random rogue cards. One Mystic Confluence, and we have one Settle the Wreckage, or Get Wrecked. We have one Enlightened Tutor, and one Path to Exile. And last but not least, we have one last sorcery. I think I got in order. So one Cruel Entertainment. I like this card because you just basically make your opponents fight each other. That is not you, and it's like it kind of fit in with the theme of the deck, and I kind of want to have fun with it. So that's in there too. Moving on to the lands. We have one Plains, one Island, one Swamp. We have a Marsh Flats. We have a Sea of Clouds. We have a Morphic Pool. We got those discount dual lands from Battle Bond. We have one Mana Confluence, one Mishra's Workshop. Jesus Christ, this guy is just... I just dropped like 1,000 on this, but yes, but not none the least. Mishra's Workshop. We have one Tundra, one Reflecting Pool, one Inkmoth Nexus, just to, if we can beat our opponents over the head with Infect. We have one Glacial Fortress, one Reliquary Tower, one Drowned Catacomb, one Academy Ruins, one Eye of Ugin, one Savannah. Oh, sorry, not Savannah. I'm stupid. Scrubland, sorry. What I get for running on 2 hours of sleep. We have one Seachrome Coast, one Command Beacon, one Underground Sea, one Spire of Industry, one Isolated Chapel. We have one Godless Shrine. We have one Command Tower. We have one Flooded Strained. or Strand, whatever you prefer. We have 1 Hallowed Fountain, 1 Fetid Heath, 1 Vault of the Archangel, give your creatures lifelink and death touch till the end of the turn. We have 1 Watery Grave, hashtag after my toilet, after my butthole destroys it after Taco Bell. We have 1 Polluted Delta, and 2 proxies, sorry, with the land Solaria West, Transmute, and which basically you discard it, you pay 3, and pretty sure you get 1 card with converted mana cost 3 or less. I may be wrong. You can already sense people angrily typing in the comments, and we have 1 Ancient Tomb that's also coming in the mail. So that is the deck profile I have for Sen Triplets. It's still a moving EDH deck. I'm not really sure which direction to take it in. It's very casual. I'm still making changes. I really wanted to get this deck profile up as it's been on the back burner for way too long, and I wanted to have some new content on the channel. I'm focusing on another EDH deck. Obviously, if there's any more improvements with this deck, I will move ahead and post new updates. Same thing with Scarab God. Archangel Avacyn's getting a facelift, and we have obviously we have this deck, and then we have 1 super secret deck that we're going to show you later down the line. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please write in the comments of what you think I can improve, what your suggestions are, and I'll see you guys next time.